Are we on? We're on. Okay, hey guys, and welcome to the Movie, TV, and Music Show with the most outdated name ever, the JJ DVD Variety Hour. It's great to be back. I'm Jai, and with me, as always, is Jason.
Hello, it's good to be back. The wait between episodes this time was certainly a little bit shorter than the last one, so it's good. We're getting on track for now, anyway, and that's always a good thing.
For sure. We did an episode last night. We thought we watched a great movie today, so we thought we'd come back and talk about it.
Yeah.
And by great movie, I mean an absolute just crap film. We watched the 2008 Roland Emmerich film 10,000 BC this morning, and that was a massive mistake. We shouldn't have watched that. Before I go on about it, Jason, thoughts?
Yeah, you pretty much said it right there. It is just so bland, and considering the time period, it could be very interesting, but they just did nothing with it. The characters they're barely characters. I don't remember any of their names. There was only like 3 characters that I recognized by face. Otherwise, they were all just sort of like random character number 1, random character number 2. It was, terrible. And I wasn't expecting anything great. I knew it was bad. And from Roland Emmerich's previous films, Independence Day was good, of course. But I mean, I think for the most part, he's made some pretty bad films. I think you share my opinions on this film.
This was not good. It is his only good movie, Independence Day, and even that, it wasn't excellent. It was a fun movie. I mean, he did Godzilla, I think, the 1998 Godzilla.
Matthew Broderick,
yeah. Yeah, he did White House Down, which was fine for what it was. It wasn't great or anything, it was fun. It was just a, fluff movie. And I think he did he do 2012?
I believe he did. I've not seen that, but I believe he did, which came out in 2009, just to confuse everybody.
Yeah, and also The Day After Tomorrow, which it was very similar.
That's right. Yeah, that's one I actually liked. I believe I saw that in cinemas. I remember liking it at the time. I have not revisited it. I do own it on DVD, so maybe I should. But after 10,000 BC, I'm not exactly clamoring to watch another Roland Emmerich film.
Yeah, it's not essential. I mean, it's okay, but yeah, you can hold off. Okay, so moving on to the movie news of today. One of the big news that came out this morning while we woke up to it was that the long anticipated, we're very much anticipating Star Wars Episode 8, which was slated to be released May 2017, has now been pushed back to a painstakingly long 7-month wait. So it's coming out December 15th, 2017, which is just an absolute blow to the balls. We get Rogue One in December to tide us over, which is great. I can't wait for Rogue One. And then I thought we'll have a 5-month wait until Episode 8. That's not too bad. No, pretty much we've got a 2-year wait from right now to see the next part of the Star Wars saga, Episode 8. What do you think of this?
Yeah, a blow to the balls is pretty accurate. Especially like the way Episode 7 ended. No spoilers, I won't spoil it, but it just ended in such a way that you're just dying to see what happens next. And I was so excited the fact that that Episode 8 was going to come out only 5 months after Rogue One. It was like, yes, this is brilliant. Like, I'll only have Rogue One would have just come out on Blu-ray, and then I could go and see Episode 8. And now, yes, we learned it's another 7 months, which is really disappointing. But it probably does make sense from a box office standpoint. I think other people have made this point that December is generally a period where there's not a lot of big blockbusters coming out. If it came out in May, it probably would have been against some kind of superhero film. Maybe, I don't know what's coming out then. Maybe Captain America film, or the Avengers, or something like that. So it would have had stiff competition. So maybe December is better for box office. Maybe they want to beat their record that Episode 7 has set.
I read that actually, now that it's going to December 17, I see that it's going, I read someone said it was going up against Steven Spielberg's new film, Ready Player One, and Avatar 2, interestingly enough. I don't know how true that is, but if that is right, then Star Wars going up against Avatar 2, that'll be, I'm sure Star Wars will definitely beat out Avatar 2. I can't, if they go up against each other, even though Avatar is the highest grossing film of all time, it's not going to beat Episode 8 of Star Wars. No way in hell.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, that's interesting with Avatar. Like, that's a film that, yeah, it was so, obviously, it's the most successful film financially in cinema history. It's so weird that it doesn't really have a huge fan base. And I'm not sure actually how well Avatar 2 will do. I think Avatar did really well because it had like all this new technology behind it and looked amazing and all this stuff. And unless it's like they've really sort of amped that up even more for the second one, I'm not sure it'll actually. I'm sure it'll do fine. I'm sure it will do well regardless. But I don't think it will be the phenomenon that the first Avatar was. Yeah, I don't see that happening. But I mean, I could be wrong. It's happened before.
I can't see it. I mean, yeah, like you just said, the gimmick of the 3D definitely, helped Avatar. And Avatar actually, when it started out, it was doing well. And then as the weeks went along, it got, better and better and better at the box office as it went along. So I'm sure, the word of mouth for, you got to see this movie in 3D, you got to see this, really helped it along. Star Wars, on the other hand, gets by just by being Star Wars, so, so it can't beat that.
I agree. Thankfully, this is 2 years away, so people won't remember these predictions. So if we're wrong, nobody will remember. So that's the positive thing about this.
Yes, and if anybody even watches this to begin with, I'll be very surprised. Anyway,
exactly.
moving on to the world of television. This week, finally, The Flash returned. We're midway through series 2. It returned with episode 10. I assume that's the mid-season break. I'm not exactly sure how many. I'm assuming it's a full season again with 22 or so episodes. It aired episode 10 yesterday or 2 days ago, whenever it was. I know that I'm up to it. Jason is 2 episodes behind me. So what are you thinking of season 2 so far as a whole?
It's excellent. It's going in directions I did not expect. Okay, so how spoilery should we be with this discussion? Should we assume that anybody watching this would be caught up? Not sure how much I should delve into this.
Yeah, we'll just go spoilery. If anyone's watching this who isn't caught up with The Flash, skip ahead a couple of minutes. Just
all right,
go for it.
Cool. Yeah, it's really cool. This whole sort of multi-universe, multi-Earth kind of thing. So there's an Earth 1 and an Earth 2, and now you've got Harrison Wells coming from Earth 2 to Earth 1, and other characters from Earth 2 coming to Earth 1. And I believe, I think The Flash will go to Earth 2, but I haven't seen that yet, but I think that will happen. It's really interesting to see these alternate versions of characters, and how Dr. Wells of Earth 2 is somewhat different from the guy that was in Earth 1, and people kind of hate him because of that, because he looks like Earth 1's Harrison Wells, but he was not a nice guy. He did some pretty bad things. But yeah, this season is really great. I'm enjoying the new additions to the cast. I like Patty, the new partner of Joe. I think she's a really cool character, and I'm interested to see how the relationship with Barry goes. And I'm glad they're sort of going away slightly from the, Barry wanting Iris kind of thing. Like those kind of storylines, I get frustrated because they drag them out as long as possible. So I'm glad that they've stepped away from it for a bit. I think it will probably return. I think that Iris will be sort of like the main love interest for the whole series, but for the moment we have Patty, and I'm happy about that. What are your thoughts on the season so far? I'm really enjoying it.
Well, yeah, I love it. I mean, I love the character of the Flash. I love the show. I love the comics. The comics and the show are obviously very different. Let's just talk about Zoom for a second, the villain of season 2. I think the way they presented Zoom, especially in episode 6, Enter Zoom, when he pretty much carries Barry's near dead body through the central city and parades him around to everybody, showing him, like, this is your hero, look how weak he is, blah blah, shows him to Joe and the cop, shows him to Iris, and that pretty much just battered and bruised. That was great. I love the introduction of Zoom. I think he worked. I think he's so much more menacing than Reverse Flash was, and the identity of Zoom is obviously the big arc of the season. Who is Zoom? If I had to give a prediction, my prediction would be that Zoom is Henry Allen, Barry Allen's father from Earth 2. That would be my pick. Based on, I think, because as of episode 10, we know nothing about Zoom apart from what we've seen. I don't think he's even in episode 10. So my prediction would be that he's Henry Allen from Earth 2. A lot of people are theorizing that it could be Paddy. I can't really see that happening. I can't really see Paddy becoming Zoom. But then again, stranger things have happened. It could be anyone. And then other people have been saying it could be Joe West from Earth 2. Who do you think is what would be your pick for the identity of Zoom?
Wow, yeah, those are pretty good speculative choices. I think I could definitely see it being Barry's father from Earth 2. That's certainly possible. I mean, I have no idea, and I'm not as well versed in the Flash universe as you are. So my predictions probably would be based on nothing. But I didn't mention Zoom, but he is a really great villain so far. He's just got this really menacing, intimidating kind of appearance, and his voice as well is really great, and just his the stuff he's saying is like, he's really cool villain. I love like all the sort of electricity that sort of flows through him all the time, the lightning and stuff. That's really cool. Definitely.
Yeah, it's
probably my
interesting to
favorite
see.
villain so far.
It's interesting to see where this season's going, because I know that we so in the first season the main villain was Reverse Flash, and that was Wells, and then we find out in the first season that Wells wasn't Wells at all. He was this Eobard Thawne, like the real Harrison Wells was killed and died, years ago, and it was this Eobard Thawne character. So Eobard Thawne is the Reverse Flash. We know that Gorilla Grodd was working with Reverse Flash, and now in season 2, you should have seen this by now. Grodd gets transported to this jungle city, which in the comics, he's the ruler of a city called Gorilla City, and he has this army of apes which he uses to attack the city. I would love to see that happen in season 3. I think if they want to bring in Gorilla Grodd and his army attacking Central City in season 3, that would be excellent. I would also love to see, I know it's not fully there yet, but the Rogues forming. We've got the Rogues forming. They come back every couple episodes, so it's mainly Captain Cold. He's the main one. We've also got Heatwave. We've got Weather Wizard, Golden Glider, and who else is in the Rogues at the moment? Who have we seen? I've forgotten now.
Firestorm, is that his name?
No, Firestorm is Ronnie was Ronnie Raymond, but now he's
now he's that dude. What was his name? I forgot his name.
And he'll be in Legends of Tomorrow, which is starting.
Yeah.
So that should be great. So if the Rogues form, we're still yet to see Mirror Master. I don't think we've seen Mirror Master yet. But in the Flash comics, so we've got the first volume, and then the second volume is the Rogues, and the third volume is Gorilla Grodd and his army, and then the fourth volume is Reverse Flash, and that's one whole story from Francis Manapul. So if you haven't read that arc, the first 4 volumes of the Flash, pick it up and read it immediately, because it is excellent. It's very different from the show in terms of characters, in terms of what they look like, in terms of the relationships with other characters. It's very different, but it's the same characters. It's it's the same world. It's the same powers. It's excellent. So I definitely recommend that. So I can't see where they're taking this season in the second half. I assume we're going to find out who Zoom is. I would. Do you reckon we'll find out who Zoom is about midway? I can't imagine they would hold it off right to the end.
Yeah, like if there is about 22 episodes, as you mentioned, that's a long time to drag it out. It's possible. Then they might leave it till maybe the penultimate episode or something like that.
Well,
I'm sure there'll be more twists and turns.
How long into it until we found out that Harrison Wells was Reverse Flash? I think we found out quite early.
The second half. I think it was at least the second half of the season. I think.
I think the very last scene of episode 9, which was the Christmas one. I think that was where we saw him standing in front of the Reverse Flash suit in the room with Gideon, and he healed himself. I think that was episode 9, and then it came back, and then it was kind of is he Reverse Flash? Is he who he says he is? Blah blah. And then it was, we finally saw him towards the end, which is great. So I hope like Zoom, as we've just said, is much more. I think he's much more menacing than Reverse Flash, even though Reverse Flash has the ties to Barry's past, Barry's mother, and that the night where everything happened. I think Zoom is much more menacing. He seems to be much more of a threat, and he seems to be stronger than Reverse Flash ever was. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly who he is and where the rest of the season is going.
Yeah, I agree. And you talk about the comic books. Like, I'm really excited to start reading those, and to just get more familiar with the characters. Even though I know that that they're very different from the TV show, I'm still really excited to just learn more about the universe in general, and well, just DC comics in general. I mean, I won't go too much into that, but I'm excited to read all of that stuff. And also exciting, of course, is you mentioned Legends of Tomorrow. That starts tomorrow, which is quite convenient. So Legends of Tomorrow is tomorrow. I'm really excited about that. I love Captain Cold. He's one of my favorite characters in The Flash. I just love the way he speaks. Has this kind of very old school, kind of villainous way about him. Just reminds me of, like, I don't know, a villain from like the 60s or something. Just like this sort of, he has this kind of, it's just a really fun way, the way he talks and stuff. I'm really excited about all the characters. All the ones that I've seen have been great, including Firestorm, which I mentioned before. I liked his episode of The Flash this season. So I'm really excited about Legends of Tomorrow, and tomorrow.
Yeah, and Legends of Tomorrow. I can't believe there's a team up show of that caliber. It's got Captain Cold, it's got Heatwave, it's got Hawkman, it's got Hawkgirl, it's got Rip Hunter, it's got the White Canary, it's got Firestorm. That's on TV. Like, I can't believe all these like minor characters who I've read in the comics for many years. I'm going to see them live on TV like tomorrow night. It's insane. I can't believe we got the Flash on TV. We've got Green Arrow on TV. We've got Gotham. We've got Supergirl. We had Constantine. It's insane the amount of, this is a great time for comic books, for comic book movies, comic book TV shows. I can't believe, we're here to see it. So that's just a dream come true, to have Legends of Tomorrow, to have that, and to have Batman v Superman, to have Suicide Squad, to have the DC movies kicking off. It's incredible. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's just crazy how much TV has changed. And you haven't even mentioned they're just the DC stuff, but then you've got like all the Marvel stuff. You've got Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you've got Daredevil on Netflix, you've got all these other ones. I think there's a Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. spin-off coming. Yeah, there's just so many. And yeah, if you're just a fan of superheroes in general, whether it be both Marvel and DC or one or the other, personally, I like both. I think it's good to be bipartisan when it comes to because they both have their good qualities. It's just a great time to be a fan of comic books, of superheroes, they've just pretty much taken over the entire pop culture landscape, it seems like. And it's hard to resist. It's really hard to resist because they're everywhere, and it's awesome. I'm just loving it.
And like we said yesterday, if they get into a war with each other and think, oh, we have to one up these guys, we have to one up these guys. Now that only works out better for us. Like you said, whether you're on one side, whether you're on both sides, we're both personally on both sides. Who cares which one you read? Like, I read DC, I love Marvel too. They're great, and the more shows we get of it, the better. So it works out for everyone. Now, another thing that we mentioned yesterday, we talked about the Oscars. We didn't go into a bit of a controversial issue surrounding the Oscars this year, which was the diversity issue related with the Oscars this year. Now, some people are going, it's a predominantly white Oscars this year. They're saying the lack of race is really a step backwards for the Oscars. Before I go into it, Jason, your take on this whole debacle?
It's definitely, it's a really interesting discussion. In the last 2 years, none of the best actor, best supporting actor or actresses have been non-white, it is pretty crazy. It's an interesting argument. I know that the members of the Academy, it's not representative of society at all. I think the median age is over 60. I think it's something like 70-something% male, older male, white male. and it's interesting because like the president of the Academy is a black woman, and she put out a statement recently, the other day, talking about the disappointment, and I think they are going to try to diversify things, but as for like this year, it's hard to say because there were definitely some great performances by black actors and other races, but it's hard. Like the people that are nominated are great; they were great. I would have liked to have seen Michael B. Jordan nominated for Creed. I thought he was great, and Ryan Coogler, who directed Creed, I think he should have been nominated because that was an amazingly directed film. Like the boxing sequences are just absolutely incredible. Some of the best sequences I've seen in cinema all of last year. So I think he should have been nominated. But it is hard to remove people. Yeah, it's difficult. It'll be very interesting to see the Oscars because like Chris Rock is the host. Assuming he doesn't drop out, hopefully he doesn't, because he'll make it for a very entertaining host. Yeah, sorry. So what are your thoughts on all of this?
Yeah, well, I pretty much agree. So, you know, this is a bit of a hard topic because, as you said, it's hard to take people out. You know, so I don't like when people play, you know, like the race card. Yes, this is a predominantly white Oscars. There's no denying that. And the winners the past couple of years have been white. I think I think people in general just need to stop seeing race as a way. Oh, but you know, this movie was about this race, or this movie was about this race, or this movie was about this subject. You know, if a movie is good, the movie's good. You know, like it doesn't matter what it's about. You know, it's like a couple of years ago, I think 12 Years a Slave won. Yeah, 12 Years a Slave. I think that won Best Picture, didn't it?
It did. It did. Yeah.
Yes. That was a good movie. I like that. You know, like whether, you know, it wasn't my favorite movie of the year. Like I don't think it even made my top 10 of the year. It was still a good movie. I wouldn't call it one of my favorites. I wouldn't call it a fun movie. But yeah, it has an important issue. It has an important subject. You know, like so stuff like that. I get. You know, that should win. Whatever. When they go on about how, well, not when they go on about. I mean, when whoever comes up with the topic. We have, you know, yeah. So what's to say? I don't think Bryan Cranston was very good in Trumbo. I love Bryan Cranston. I don't think he was very good. So, you know, the Academy obviously thought he was good. I don't know. The problem here, like you said, is the people who are voting are the people who are making the votes. They need to diversify that a lot more because, as you said, it's you know, people over mostly white males over 60. Obviously, they're not going to enjoy, say, Creed, you know, as much as they would have enjoyed, like Bridge of Spies, for example, which is a movie that people are saying is in there. You know, why is that in there? But I enjoyed it, and you know, like, I don't know. So yeah, I think the main thing with race is unless the movie is about a racial subject, there's no need to bring race into it. So why you know, for example, Christian Bale's up, right? So he was the lead in The Big Short. So the lead in Creed was Michael B. Jordan. If everybody legitimately, no, not if everybody thought, if Christian Bale legitimately did give a better performance than Michael B. Jordan in Creed, I'm not saying he did, but if Christian Bale legitimately did give a better performance than Michael B. Jordan in Creed, then he should be up. Just because Michael B. Jordan is a minority does not mean, but he should be up because he's a minority. If he legitimately gave a better performance in Creed than Christian Bale did, by all means, put him up. You know, like it's definitely the quality of the film. It's definitely, you know, how the actors and the actresses, if they gave a great performance that's Oscar worthy, by all means, put them up. I don't think we should have to take into consideration. I don't think anybody, the voters, should have to take into consideration. Well, we better throw a person of color in just to give a bit of diversity. You know, if they legitimately thought these other actors were better, fair enough. That's you know, that's justified. If I guess I'm just saying the same thing over and over. Now I hope I got what I'm trying to say over. Yeah, I'm not really. I don't want it to sound like I'm siding with one side because I haven't seen Creed. I don't think I've seen many movies this year with that have been heralded. Like I haven't seen Beasts of No Nation. I haven't seen Creed. And yeah, I can't pick anyone that I have seen. I know you've seen Creed and loved it. And like you said, you wanted Michael B. Jordan up. And then on the other hand, I've seen The Big Short and didn't think Christian Bale was anything special. So maybe Michael B. Jordan, should have been nominated. But I think when they view these movies, unless the movie's about race, take that completely out of the equation. We're just judging. Well, they're just judging on acting alone. So I think it's a bit of a it works both ways, I think.
Yeah, I agree. You make some good points. It's definitely, I think it is more so a bad representation of the members of the Academy more than anything. I think it shows the shortcomings of the Academy more so than performances by minorities in films. I think in general, I find most years actually nominations are quite safe. Like for instance, a great film this year I thought, which could have been worthy of being nominated for me, was Tangerine. But that is a movie that would never be nominated because it is just too. It's not safe at all. It's completely subversive. It's like if it stars transgender black women, it is completely out of the comfort zone of the Academy, and it would never be nominated. And I think with a more diversified more diverse Academy, I think we might see more films like that being nominated, which would only be a good thing. But I do agree overall.
I think even a younger, Academy voters, we would see a more diverse kind of thing. Like I'm very surprised Mad Max is up for Best Picture, to be honest with you. Like when if I was going to talk to family members who are 60, 70 years old, there's no way they'd be interested in seeing Mad Max. So like I'm very surprised that got in. I'm very glad it's in. It's a great film. But I think if there's more, if there were voters in there from the age of say 25, if it was half and half, if there was ages from like 25 to say 50, and then 50 to 80 or however old, if there was an even amount of them, we would see different types of movies getting in. We would, like, who's to say? Who's to say that the Best Picture nominees are the best pictures of the year? Like they're not my best pictures. Like I clearly, my favorite movie is Star Wars, and that's not nominated for Best Picture because it really doesn't fit the it's not what you'd expect from Best Picture nominees. So so really the problem stems from the voters themselves, and that's the only way. Like it doesn't matter, who acted better. Like if they think someone acted better, then that's who's going to get up, and that's all there is to it. So there's nothing really we can do apart from get new voters.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't think it's a case of like people say Michael B. Jordan, just for an example, and say he's black, not voting for him. I don't think it's that kind of like extreme racism. I think it's more like a sort of subconscious kind of, I don't know. I don't know if they even know they're doing it, but they're maybe slightly biased against a black actor for some reason. But I mean, of course, there have been quite a few black winners of Oscars. You've had Denzel Washington, you've had Halle Berry. I'm not sure if Steve McQueen won for 12 Years a Slave. He might have won Best Director. I can't remember, but certainly his film won. We've had Whoopi Goldberg.
Just to point out, I'm not implying that the voters are racist in any way.
I understand.
I'm just saying, so like they would have related more to these other characters from these other movies that are more suited to their a movie that they more likely go out and watch anyway. So I wasn't implying anything like that. It was just
no, definitely. I agree with what you were saying. And as you said, movies are subjective after all. Like these Best Picture nominees are not necessarily the best pictures of the year. They're probably not. Everyone has different tastes, and that's why it's so interesting. That's why these discussions are so interesting. And that's why I find the Oscars fascinating. I don't consider it a sort of objective, this is the best movie of the year kind of thing. It's just more, this is what people liked the most, and that's great. But it certainly does not mean, like if I was voting, I would not have voted. I mean, I've only seen 2 of them still, but I'm sure if I had even seen them all, I'm sure I would have different nominations. I would have nominated Creed. I would have nominated something like Tangerine. I would have... Star Wars. I would have nominated Star Wars.
Pretty much what we're saying is it's all subjective. And while this year is predominantly white, that's what the voters like. That's what they seem to enjoy. We're not saying that they're better. We're not saying that they're worse. But it just seems that's who they favoured this year, and that's what they're running with. So, yeah, I think we've said all that needs to be said there. Moving on, we've got we're starting up this segment where it's called Jason's Box Office Look Back, where we look back. Jason will now present a lineup of movies that were popular at the box office this time in a predetermined amount of years. Take it away, Jason.
Yes, I feel like we should have some kind of like music for this segment. Jason's Box Office Look Back.
And then just have Wilbur Wilde on the pianos, just go.
Yeah. Exactly. And yeah, we've got Dickie Knee here. He's got some things to say. No, that's a terrible Dickie Knee impression. All right, so yeah, basically the idea of this segment is just I thought I would look back at movies that were in the box office this week, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and 30 years ago. So it's 2006, 1996, and 1986.
Now, I do not know the movies that you're about to show here, so this is all new to me. I can only imagine what we were watching 2006, whatever, 1996. So
yeah, I'll just quickly go through the top 10 of 2006. So this is the week January 20 to 26, 2006. So we had at number 10, The New World. That was the Terrence Malick film. Really good film. Number 9, End of the Spear. Do not know it. Number 8, Hostel. Have not seen it. Number 7, Fun with Dick and Jane. That's a classic Jim Carrey, Taya Leone comedy, I believe. Number 6, The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And I think I recently heard there was going to be a reboot of Narnia. I think I heard something about that.
They're bringing it back with I think the Silver Chair is rebooting that one. Yeah.
Ah, interesting. So I have not seen any of the Narnia films actually. That was 10 years ago. Apparently, it doesn't seem that long ago. Number 5, Brokeback Mountain. Number 4, Last Holiday. Number 3, Glory Road. Number 2, Hoodwinked. And number 1, Underworld Evolution. So out of those films, I have seen just 2, amazingly. The New World and Fun with Dick and Jane are the only 2 that I've seen out of those. How many of those have you seen?
I can't remember all the ones you just listed. I haven't seen Brokeback Mountain yet. I was actually that was on Foxtel earlier today, and I was going to watch it. Actually, I think it's on I think it's on right now, to be honest. But I didn't watch it because I got bummed out after watching. I got bummed out after watching 10,000 BC, so I didn't want to risk it again. But apparently it's great. I have seen Fun with Dick and Jane. That was terrible. I can't believe Last Holiday. Is that Queen Latifah one?
Let me just check that. It very well may be.
I haven't seen that, but the fact that it beat all of them.
You are correct. It was the Queen Latifah film. Yes.
Yeah, I think I haven't seen. I think it's just the one I just said. I can't. I don't think I've seen any of the others. What were the first couple again?
We had number 10, The New World. Number 9, End of the Spear, which I've never heard of.
Nope.
Number 8, Hostel.
Oh, I've seen Hostel. Yeah, that's the other one I've seen. I knew I'd seen one more. Yeah, Hostel.
Yes.
And that was okay. It wasn't anything great.
Another horror movie, right? That's pretty much all I kind of know about it.
Pretty lackluster bunch of films this week back in 2006. So
yeah.
What's next?
So we have from 1996. Definitely some more recognizable ones here. Number 10 was Don't Be a Menace to South Central While Drinking Your Juice in the Hood, which I watched just a few weeks ago, which is an excellent parody film, a parody of like all these sort of early 90s, talking about race again, actually. So these majority black comedies, so things like, or dramas as well, I should say. So things like Do the Right Thing by Spike Lee, Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, that kind of thing. It's really funny, by the Wayans brothers, one of the only funny things they have done. Number 9 was Toy Story. Number 8, Heat. Number 7, Sense and Sensibility. Number 6, Jumanji. Number 5, Grumpier Old Men. Number 4,
which I watched very recently. I just watched Grumpier Old Men just the other week.
Yes.
So,
yeah, that's the classic odd coupling there of Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon.
Yes.
So number 4, Eye for an Eye. Number 3, 12 Monkeys. Number 2, Mr. Holland's Opus, and number 1 was From Dusk Till Dawn, which I watched that for the first time completely unintentionally only a week ago, and I thought it was fantastic. I loved it.
Yeah, that's definitely a better list of films. I mean, we have Heat, we've got Toy Story, we've got Jumanji. They're all great. And I don't think you've seen Heat though. I think I watched that.
I've not. Heat is one of those films I've just been meaning to watch forever, and I haven't. It's terrible. I know. I need to watch it because it looks amazing. And I've really liked Michael Mann's other films, like Collateral. I loved Collateral.
Yeah, that's good. I like Collateral too.
Yeah. I've heard Miami Vice is actually really good.
That's what I haven't seen. I haven't seen Miami Vice yet.
Yeah, I want to see that.
I heard mixed things about it, so that's why I stayed away. But
yeah, at the time there were definitely mixed reviews. I think in recent times it's actually sort of gained kind of popularity and sort of a cult status, I suppose. Yeah, I've seen 12 Monkeys, which is excellent.
Yes, I watched that last year as well.
Yeah, Mr. Holland's Opus, I remember used to be on TV a lot when I was a kid. It used to be on Channel 10, I think. That's starring Richard Dreyfuss.
That one. That's one I haven't seen. I haven't seen that one.
It's not great. It's just kind of very sort of sentimental film. I think Richard Dreyfuss was nominated for the Oscar, did not win. But I mean, yeah. So the rest of it is like Jumanji, of course. It's a classic, and Toy Story. I mean, who hasn't seen Toy Story?
Oh, for sure. And it's one of the best animated films still to this day of all time. Absolutely.
And I'm just going just looking through outside of the top 10, even more recognizable ones. You've got GoldenEye, Seven, Leaving Las Vegas, Dead Man Walking, Dunstan Checks In.
Brilliant.
Dunstan Checks In beats GoldenEye that week.
GoldenEye must have been at the cinemas for a while. Like, it must be on the way out.
I
can't see a world where Dunstan Checks In, a comedy starring a monkey and Jason Alexander, would beat a James Bond film.
Crazier things have happened, but I mean, you're probably right, because like ahead of that was Father of the Bride Part 2. So I doubt that was more successful than GoldenEye as well.
Definitely, yeah.
Who knows? But yeah, so some very recognizable and memorable films from 1996. So now if we have a look at 1986, again, we've got some interesting ones here. We've got, number 10, White Nights. Number 9, Runaway Train. Number 8, Troll. Number 7, Spies Like Us. Number 6, A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. Number 5, Rocky 4. Number 4, The Jewel of the Nile. Number 3, Out of Africa. Number 2, Iron Eagle. And number 1 was The Color Purple, which is a Steven Spielberg film that I've not seen. Have you seen that one?
I don't think I've seen any of them. I mean, yeah, I can't. Yeah, I don't think I've seen any of them. I know I haven't seen The Jewel of the Nile. I haven't seen The Color Purple. I haven't seen Out of Africa. Yeah, I'm pretty useless in this. I haven't seen many from January 1986, apparently.
I think I have seen Rocky 4. I've seen most of the Rockies. They all kind of mix together. I think I may have seen Rocky 4. Coming in at number 12 that week, we should have gone further than number 10 because number 12 was Back to the Future. We could definitely talk about that one. One of the best movies
that's
ever,
my favorite movie of all time. So I definitely have seen that more than once.
Yeah, so that was number 12 that week. So I guess that probably was out for a fair few weeks. Hold on, I'll just check. Oh, wow, that was the 29th week that Back to the Future was out. Yeah, so it was massivly popular. And all the other films...
Sure. Well, it's a 1985 film, so yeah, it would have been out for a while, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. And it only made it made 1.6 million and only just behind Black Moon Rising, number 11, which was in its second week. So Back to the Future was obviously a huge phenomenon at the time. But so, yeah, out of the... I agree. I'm not really too familiar with these. I want to see The Color Purple, and I think... I think Whoopi Goldberg maybe was nominated for that movie. I don't think she won. I think she won for Ghost.
I think she definitely was nominated. I think that was the issue. She was definitely nominated. Whether she won or not, I don't really remember. We really need to just brush up on our knowledge of the Oscars as over the coming weeks or so. We will be probably talking about the Oscars a bit, seeing as they're next month. I think they're next month, aren't they? Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, they are. Yeah. And the race is heating up. We've got all these other awards coming up. I think maybe the BAFTAs might be on soon. I think also the Directors Guild Awards, they might be on soon if they haven't happened already. I'm not entirely sure. We've got, I think, the Writers Guild Awards, so pretty much all these other guilds, and I think Critics Awards and all these other things. So hopefully these will give us a good indication of what the Oscar nominees will be, or what the winners would be, I should say. It's going to be really interesting, and I definitely want to at least see all of the Best Picture nominees before the ceremony. I managed to do that last year for the first time.
I've only got 2 more to go. I only need to see Brooklyn Spotlight, as I said yesterday. So hopefully we can get that done.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway, I think that's pretty much it for all that we've got to talk about for this episode. So once again, thanks everybody if you've watched this live or if you're watching this, on the broadcast. I don't know. I don't know if anyone will even watch this. Hopefully, if you did, you enjoyed it, and you come back and watch more. But yes, so on behalf of myself and Jason, thank you for watching, and see you next time.
Thanks, guys. See you later.